Okay, again, good evening, everybody, and we're about to start our meeting for the Gun Violence Prevention and Safety Committee. Thank you all for being here. The notice was sent out. We have about 24 individuals, 24, 26 individuals on our list. Um, so that have joined the committee, but we don't always have. Obviously, we don't have that many that attend each week, each month. But we move on and we continue to go on and move forth as best as we can. I'm sure that they will chime in at the needed time when we get ready to do projects and so forth. But we're going to decide what those projects are going to be at some point and hopefully start that process tonight. So, welcome. I don't think we need introductions because everybody here we've already met via Zoom. Am I correct?
I don't
Okay.
remember this last name. Sheila,
Sheila.
Yes.
what is your last name? I'm so sorry. I'm Candy Birch. I don't remember your last name.
It's can you see it on the screen as Allison-Wells.
Oh, now I see it.
It's
Oh,
hyphenated. Uh-huh.
thing. I'm sorry. Now
Oh,
I see.
no problem.
Thank you. With two L's. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Allison Wells, hyphen Wells.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the agenda, and the next thing is the recap from previous meetings. So we have had you have the notes, and Connie took detailed notes, and that's always good. So you should have received those. It's about 4 pages of notes. I don't try to break them down. This gives you an idea of everything that went on at the last meeting. So I don't try to narrow them down to, but give you the actual transcript. But we at that meeting we met with the new gun violence prevention manager from the city. We have been conducting what I term listen and learn. So to listen to what is going on in the community, to learn what is going on in the community, and to eventually see where we as a committee fits into that. There's no need to reinvent the wheel if it's working fine. But whatever we can do to lend to that, if it falls within our goals and within the parameters of what the league says we should be doing, then we can just jump on board with that and then do our own thing as well. So the series is over for right now as far as listen and learn, and it is now time for us to talk more about what action we actually want to take. Now that does not mean that we won't have other speakers come on, and as that goes on we will do that, but right now I don't have anybody in mind. We've had the individual from the barber from Broward County to talk about what she's been doing, what they've been doing in Broward, and she has um, stated that she'll be a resource to us for whatever we might need as we move forward. We have we've had the commissioner who started the conversation about gun violence prevention with the city, and she explained where we were, and I think that we can always rely on her to be a resource. And then we had the manager, as I said, that's just started. She's been in the job for about a month now, I guess. So we will continue to again piggyback on that, and then do any of the other things that we need to do as a group. So that's pretty much the recap of where we've been, and then I have updates. So updates. When I sent out the email to you all, I told you that there is a panel discussion that's being led by Moms Demand Action. It's going to be via Zoom and in person, and it's going to be at the Santa Fe Blunt Center, which is downtown. So you can attend either via Zoom or in person. They offer that for most of their meetings. So that's on Sunday, April 21st at 1 p.m. And I'm serving as one of the panelists for that. So I'll be representing the league. If you can attend, if you can join via Zoom, or if you can come in person, that would be great. If you the link is posted on our website, but it should also be in the materials, the documents that were sent to you. But if you need it, just let me know and I'll resend it. Then on May 14th, there's a presentation at Oak Hammock. Oak Hammock has a committee, a league of their own out there. Not a league of their own, but they're part of our league. But they meet there, and they have speakers every month. So on the on May 14th, I will be there along with the legislative lead from the Moms Demand Action. She will be given an update on what has happened with the laws and what's going on, where they are, where they stand, and that kind of thing. I will be giving a brief update on where we are and how we're fitting in, and then I'll introduce her. And I think it goes for about an hour. Everybody is invited to that as well. That's also on the website, and it tells you, gives you the information there. Mary is the contact for Oak Hammock. So if you can attend, that is in person. That's not on Zoom. That's in person. We'll be there on May 14th, and that's, I think, what is May 14th? That's
Is that a Tuesday?
I believe, yes, that's on a Tuesday. Tuesday at 6:30. So we'll be there. That's the week after Mother's Day. And thirdly, on updates, we have gun violence prevention state meetings. They have state meetings monthly. Any of us can attend those. And I plan to attend whenever I can work it in and remember that they're taking place.
Are they in Tallahassee, Gwen?
They do it via Zoom, but I think are they coming, is it from Tallahassee, or is that Candy? Is that where? I'm
I,
not sure. I'm not
I'm,
sure.
I think so. I think most of the chairmen of those committees are in. Well, you know what? I could be wrong. I I was thinking that they were in Tallahassee, but now that I'm thinking about it, the state league isn't in
Right.
Tallahassee. It's in a different city. So I
So it may
I
be, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think the good news is it's a Zoom meeting because I don't think you can even attend it in person.
no, it's all Zoom. So I want to start attending, and I want to make sure that one of us attends those meetings so we can see what the state is saying, so we can keep in line with that. So and it's on our website too. I can't remember right now when that meeting takes place, but it's in the middle of the day, if I'm not mistaken. So I will get that information, and maybe if I can't attend, someone else can, so that way we keep up with what's going on, and that can be something that we report back on. And so that means that we can align ourselves with what the state is doing, because we definitely want to be in line with that.
What's that date again?
I'm not sure. I'm going to
Okay.
have to look it up. I'll
Okay.
try to find it before we get off the phone, though. I mean, off the Zoom. Kind
I
of you.
was I'm really excited about the fact that gun violence is it replaced it's now one of the four main legislative priorities for the state. And I think it might have replaced natural resources or something. I mean, it was a big deal to have gun violence now be one of the four big legislative priorities. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it replaced, but I'm with you. I'm glad that it did become one of our legislative priorities. So that, because it's important, it's rampant, and it's important. It's really rampant here in Gainesville. So whatever we can do to to work toward the prevention portion and the safety portion, that's what we plan to do. So those are the three things that are going on. Any other questions about any of that? Okay. So now we're at next steps. We need to start brainstorming about what it is that we want to do. What I'm going to tell you is that what we're doing right now, and we got to do a better job of keeping up with this. But we decided when this committee was first started that we would give out gun locks at all of our events. So whenever there's a tabling event, whenever voter services is doing a tabling event, we have gun locks available. What we haven't been doing is keeping up with the number that we're giving out. A lot of the leagues keep up with that number, but we haven't been doing that. So that's something we need to start doing so that we can report as to how many locks we gave out. I have access to get as many as we need. I haven't had any requests lately for to restock, so I'm not sure how that's going, but we need to really start pushing that part because that was one of the initial things that action steps that we said we would take, and we haven't done much aside from the series that we started listening to see where we fit in. So,
So when who it, the people who are tabling with the voter information, they're giving them out?
mhm,
Okay.
they're at those tables.
So
So
there's
whenever
not a separate table that's giving them out like next to them.
no, not
Okay.
yet, not until we start doing that.
Okay.
But right now it's all on that table. But it might be a good idea when we know that they're having a table and event that we make sure that one of us from the committee is available. And I know like for instance, Suzanne and I will be tabling at the library on the 27th. So, both we work on voter services and we work on this committee. So we'll be making sure that we push that. And that's what I'm going to ask each of you to do. If you volunteer to table, please remember to push the locks. They look at them sometime and think that they're for bicycles, but they actually are gun locks.
Well,
I'm
I wanted to say is Sheila asked a really good question because we do just put like a little, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 right there on the table with the handouts and things. But I'm wondering if maybe we need a sign to go with that. For some people, including myself, I look at them and I don't know what they are or what their purpose is. Now I know it's a gun lock, but previously I didn't. My question is, what would we put on the sign? I can make one, but would it say free gun locks? Or would it say, if you are interested in a gun lock, talk with us? What would you suggest to make it accessible, but I don't know, not like just a, blank giveaway. I don't know.
Go ahead, Candy.
I know that there are, I think what you just said is so important because the gun locks themselves are not very big, but what would be cool is to have like a little open box, that we could put them in, and then your sign can say gun locks, and then you don't really have to say anything more. You could just, and then that would be the starting point of a conversation. I think that's such a good idea because I've done that too with League at the Library, and we had gun locks at the Thornburg, was it? Whatever, Thornburg, yeah. And we had them there, but like you said, without a sign that kind of identifies them. And so I know that I was just trying to think of, like just a little a box, maybe covered with contact paper or something that and then that sign that just sticks right up in there. I think that's a great idea, Suzanne. Do you want me to call you Suzanne or Susie? I can't remember.
Either one is fine.
Okay.
One is fine. And again, thank you, Sheila, for asking,
And
how.
I'm gonna add to that, and I mean, maybe the sign should say, ask us about free gun locks, with
Oh,
maybe one that they can see.
yeah.
I
So
like that.
here it is right here. This is what this is. Ask us about it, and then we can go from there in terms of distributing.
I
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think I like that too. I think there should be a conversation because
Mhm.
we say free gun lots. Some people pick them up, and I don't want to stop people from taking them if they want them, but I also want them to know what they're taking, and
Mhm.
and then that also gives a conversation, and we can maybe give just a little blurb about why gun locks are
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Well, I'll volunteer to make a little box and a sign. And then that'll be the first iteration. And then if someone wants to improve on that, great.
well, I appreciate you volunteering to do that. That takes us one step further.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how big those are, but it seems to me that they're about, I don't know, 8 inches. I have to remember, but
Hold on a minute.
where are you going to be on the 27th? Where are you going to do League at the Library on the 27th? I can't remember.
We're gonna be at the what's it
Um,
called?
partnership.
Oh,
Partnership
it's
over on
that's a one
16.
place for that, okay, so how big is that? If we were to lay those into a box, is that about, are they 9, 10 inches or so, or?
Yeah,
I can't
yes.
see it.
You can't see it
Oh, come over to your right more.
to my right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, I mean, because a low, I want to say like a beer flat is really what I'm thinking, but that's too big. So, but I'm just thinking of something that's just open. I mean, you could put it or but yeah, yeah. I don't
Oh
know how
yeah,
I don't want to be able to put them in there somehow, but cool.
Yeah.
That's a great, I think that would be a great place to try it. That sign, see how
yeah.
that goes. I don't remember if the League at the Library bins have those in there, so we might want to check with Lori to see if there are gun locks in that League at
There
the Library.
are.
Oh,
There
okay,
are.
good. I couldn't remember,
Yeah,
good.
that's
Okay.
that's definitely a part of the of it was supposed to be at every event that we have. So I'll talk to Lori about or talk to our two chairpersons that are about to not be our chairpersons and let them know that we want to figure out a way to start ask people to keep up with the number that they give out at any event, and more than likely one of us will be at a table. So
One
go
one more
ahead.
question is that I wasn't able to go to the get out the vote meeting yesterday, so I know that we were talking about labels and stickers and stuff, and it might be a cool thing to just have a little sticker on our packages there that say League of Women Voters of Alachua County, or compliments of League of Women Voters of Alachua County, something.
That would be great as well. What's on the gun lock says Veterans Crisis Line because we got these from the Veterans Administration. They give
Right.
us these, and I'm also able to get the same ones from Santa Fe.
Yeah,
But we
I
can
away their credit credentials, but I thought if they also remembered that they got it from the
we
League of
got it
Women,
from the league. I think that's a good idea as well to
and
make
it
some
could be
stickers.
that could be just an address label or something that might be helpful. I just thought about that honestly. So yeah, I mean, again, I've got stickers here, so maybe I'll just do a page of them and then we can just put them on if we want to. Okay,
I like that. I like that. They know where they got them from. But
I
but
think
and then
so.
I'm sorry.
I think so. We should get some credit.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a box and label it so that people know what these locks are for. They're not just lying on the table. And we're going to say, ask me about these or something to that effect, find out more information. And then we're going to put a sticker on them so they know where they got them from. And when they ask us about them, we're going to just give 1 or 2 words about why it's important to have gun locks. And I think we all have a few words we can say as to the importance of having having your gun lock for safety purposes. So that's good. That's good. And we're gonna keep up with the number that we actually give away. And so we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on making sure we have that we keep keep up with that information. So what we need to do, and we don't have to do this now, but what I need you to think about is what kind of things do you think we can do as a committee? I know that we can attend. We want to get on that task force that the city is talking about creating. We want to have a seat at the table.
Mhm.
And if they don't, and if they don't give us a seat, that's Shirley Chisholm said, we'll bring our own chair. I love that saying from her. But we want to have a seat at the table. I think they'll welcome that, really. And we want to know when these meetings are taking place so that we can. So I need you all to listen out for those things and to be present so that we can be present in the room when various meetings. I find that the city commission and the county commission had a meeting and they talked about gun violence prevention. But we typically find that out like the night before or something, and we need to be more in the loop of when things are happening. So we need to start attending meetings. We're already working with Moms Demand Action. So as the panel discussion is coming up. So, I think we're taking action. But I think as we start to attend the state meetings and see what they're talking about, then that can help us to decide too. And I'll be more aware of that and more diligent in making sure I attend, because I think they only last an hour, and be able to bring back information on what's going on in the state and see how that fits in with what we're doing. But in the meantime, I think that I want, and well, not I think, I want us to start thinking about what action, what can we do? What can we start to do? We've listened and we've learned, but we need to decide what we can do to make that difference in the community. Yes, Candy?
Well, you probably, because you were in the room when they had that big summit, right? They probably brought to you, the thing that makes me crazy is that I don't know our local statistics. I mean, you said that it's that gun violence in Gainesville is bad, but I don't know that I am aware. Does that make, I mean, I guess I know, but I don't know how often or how much, and I don't know whether that means we need more. I mean, maybe a sheriff or a deputy or somebody helps us with that, or maybe you had some stuff that came from that summit. Because I mean, when we go and do these tabling things, then it makes sense that we would have something that not just what's happening in the world. Because this morning I heard that I was just listening to the radio, and it says that gun deaths more gun deaths happen as a result are used for suicide, not for homicide. Yeah. And so, but my thinking is, does that apply to Gainesville? Or I don't know those statistics. I wonder if
we have those statistics. We have those statistics from then. That was in August.
Okay.
They gave some statistics, but need to look back at that, because yes, those are important. But almost every time you turn on the TV, there's something about some gun incident somewhere. But it also, we do need to look at, it's not just in certain neighborhoods and those kinds of things.
Right.
It's all also other things that are going on, like suicide, or like suicide, or just the safety of not having the gun locked away, and those kinds of things that are happening. Accidents, I guess you would call them. So yeah, we will work on. I can probably get that information from Brittany, who is with the city, what statistics they have, and see what I can well, with her, that would be a starting point, because then she could get whatever the county or the city has available, because
Do
that's
you,
important to know when we're
oh,
talking about.
I'm sorry. Do you think she may already have, I mean, the nice thing about having some of those talking points is that no matter how many, wherever we are in our tabling thing, we don't have to have them committed to memory. We might just have a few local, a sheet for the person or talking, that just a few local bullet points that, oh God, that's a terrible use of just little things, that a list of what's happening in Gainesville or Alachua. I mean, it really should be Alachua County, actually, and not just Gainesville, because we're a countywide organization. So if we could just find some of those 5 or 6 kind of
Right.
factoids, that might.
That's what I mean. But Brittany would be the person, because she's working with the county and the city. So yeah,
Oh,
we are the county, but we would
okay.
have that. Now I don't know that she's had the opportunity to put together, little palm cards or different things like that. But if we can get that information, then we can create those as a league. That would be another thing that we can give out. I also have a few buttons that say something about, ask me about gun violence prevention, that I can make sure that I get to you all. Maybe I can get that to you, if not before, at least at the annual meeting if you attend that. And those were some buttons that Barbara from Broward gave to me. I have to look at them again and see if they actually fit with us. But she did send me some material. And then we need to start partnering with, like, we get the gun locks from Veterans Affairs, but we can talk to them about how can we work with them and what are they doing in terms of that. Veteran Affairs, and I know that was something again that Broward County was working with, or with suicide prevention. I mean, there are other organizations that maybe we could start to partner with. But yeah, we start out by getting the facts, having something to talk about, those kinds of things that gets us there. We're going to progress. We're not going to try to overtake and save the world or save Gainesville within the next month or so, but we certainly going to work toward that. Okay. So I think every little bit that we do will work toward that. And the more we find out about what um I keep stressing what the state is doing, that will help to kind of steer us and direct us. But I think the things that we're talking about would be good. I think we have a few ideas out there that are good. So I'll work on the statistics and I'll look back at what I already have, because they did have some facts out there. And I think it's actually in that press release that I did when I first attended that. So that's on our website too, and we can maybe research and find that. Just look and see what we can do there. So what else do you all think?
Gwendolyn, I've been thinking, as everyone talked, the thing that's most exciting to me about what we've done so far is the working in tandem with other community groups. I mean, I think that's pretty new for a lot of groups, advocacy groups, and it seems to be working well with voter registration and things like that. There's safety and strength in numbers. So I really appreciate your efforts to connect with the different organizations. I
Thank
think
you.
there's just going to be a lot of opportunities there for us to help others, for others to help us.
That's right. And if you know me, you'll find out that one of my favorite. I have several favorite words, but one is collaboration, and another word that is a favorite of mine is silos. But in terms of, I don't think that we need to be working in silos. We need to be working together for the good of the order. So I believe that we can touch more people when we work, when we collaborate with other groups, instead of always. And I don't need the credit for it. We don't need the credit. We just want to get the job done. So the more we can work together, the better. Working in safety in numbers, as you said, is a good thing. So we want to work with as many groups as we can, as long as they are in line with what the league says we should be doing, because we do have to follow that. But I think that they are. And when you talk about safety, and again, we have to remember that it's not just about some Saturday night or weekend type of thing where something happens. It's other things that contribute to gun violence and safety issues. So we need to look at all that and get our statistics right. Because sometimes people tend to think it's only one demographic or one area, and that's not the case. Gun violence affects everybody, and that's one of the reasons why it is a priority of the state. And I know a little bit more about gun violence than I ever thought I would, because I ended up attending the initial meeting for just for the purpose of having someone there, and I ended up chairing the committee. So I'm learning more and more about the gun violence prevention issue. So I'm trying to see. Oh, that at the last meeting, Yvette attended. There was a play or a performance called "Who's in the Box," and what that really was, there was a group of I don't know if it was put on by the Star Garage, the Star Center, or whom, but it was "Who's in the Box" too. So that was the second performance they had done, and the "Who's in the Box" they're talking about a casket, really, and they had a play at the Performing Arts Center, and that was was where people came together and was able to talk about that issue as well, and how it affects. So we need to be looking for things like that to be able to attend or to be able to be a part of, and voice our thoughts on that as well. Those performances, it's called "Who's in the Box," and they're on YouTube. So if you want to
Oh,
watch them, they are on YouTube. She says that in the first one someone gets killed. In the second one, it follows the family and the survivors of the event. So see, it talks about, so it's all perspectives. It's talking about someone being killed by gun violence, but then what happens even after that? What happens with the family? How do the families um, what do they do to survive after that, after an event like that? And whatever the reason is, whether it's actually gun violence in terms of in the street, gun violence in terms of suicide, gun violence in terms of accident, or whatever the other statistics may be. So and she said it was a free event. It was standing room only. So that's something that we need to these are all ideas of things that we can start to do. So we just got to start doing them. When I worked for the city, we used to show movies, and then we would have discussions, and we would show, and that was on race and race relations. So we would show a movie, and we were able to secure the hippodrome for that, because they have an actual room, small room that you can they have a cinema. So we would show the movie, and then we would get somebody to lead the discussion. We had everything. We had the hot dogs and the popcorn and the drinks and all of that. So that's also another idea, that we would have discussions like that. Show a movie on gun violence or gun violence prevention, even if we got permission to show some of these things that have already been shown, and then to talk about that issue, to bring about awareness is what it does. And that worked well. We
But
also had, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was thinking that what's beautiful about that is that for me, our league has something like over 250 people in it. And I'm not even positive that all of our members even have an awareness of, so I mean, they're supporters of our general ideas and stuff, but maybe, having even an online, showing. I know healthcare is one of my big things. And I know that a lot of the company and a lot of the organizations that I belong to, they're showing things like Fix It and all kinds of shows, and they do it right online. And then they have, kind of a conversation afterwards. So I think what you just said is a wonderful idea to open it up, first, I mean, not to, that would keep anybody else out, but to just even say, hey, league members, this is this is new, and here's how we get started. And would I think that's a wonderful idea to just even, that's 250 people that you would start with. So that's a great idea.
Okay. Then that's something that we can look at too. So what we're doing is we're starting to gather and list out our let's just say our goals for the next year, what we plan to accomplish. So I would ask that you all just continue to think about that. And by the time we have our next meeting, or even in between, if you have ideas or suggestions of things that we could do, then please send them to me so that then we can discuss them further. But I will start to work on the statistics, and I know Susan's gonna work on the tabling, and Candy's gonna work on the getting the stickers and so forth. Yeah, and so we'll see what we can do with those statistics, and maybe have a handout.
When
Yeah.
do you
And
have dates for the tabling events?
Um, what we That's put out by voter services. Again,
So,
almost everything is
so
on our.
okay,
If you look on the voter that
right,
you received on
right,
yesterday, it'll
yeah.
tell you. And they're actually looking for people to help with the tabling. So if you can, that would be great. And again, we want to make sure that someone from this committee is in attendance as much as possible. So that would be great. Go ahead, Susan.
Sheila, do you have any interest in tabling at one of the libraries?
Well, so here's my temporary issue. I have a granddaughter due next week, and I'm going to North Carolina on Monday, and I will not be back until after Mother's Day.
Okay, all right.
So
Well, would it be
it's
all
the
right?
first one, and it might be the only one. So,
And you may be back after Mother's Day, and you may not.
well,
You-
I hope to be. I'm sure my husband wants me back.
well, true, but that baby is,
And
everything
David
is
may
about the
drive
baby. But
may
I was
make
going
you
to
make another decision. You'll be like, "Hey, hubby, I'll be back in a couple of weeks or whatever."
yeah. And by the way, we're moving.
Yeah.
I would love to say that, but
But Sheila, I was going to say,
Congratulations, Sheila. Congratulations
thank
on
you, thank you.
your
would it
upcoming
be all right with you if I gave Lori Edwards? Is it Edwards, Candy?
Erickson.
Erickson.
Yeah.
Thank
Lori.
you. If I gave Lori your email, and when you get back, I'll say in June, because she would love to have you part of that team that tables at the libraries.
Yeah,
What
that's
she
fine.
does is she just asks if you're available, and because we're gonna be tabling, you won't be back for this, but we're tabling at the Fifth Avenue Arts Festival. We table at the Spring Arts Festival. We table at various things, so you can take a look at what's there. But
Okay.
Lori is responsible for league at the library, so all the tabling events at the library she's responsible for, and you can sign up for whatever your availability is.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
like Susie said, she can give Lori your email, and she can contact you and just say, which one of these are you available to do?
That's
And that'll
fine.
get you involved. Okay.
And Lori is very lovely and very organized and runs a great ship. So
Yeah.
I will also tell you, Gwen, I haven't seen it, but I'll look on the Speakers Bureau, the State Speakers Bureau list, and see if they have already a gun violence program or if they're developing one. I know that, they're developing one for, for the amendments thing coming up but they may, now that gun violence is one of their legislative priorities, they may be working on one, and I'll see if there's one that the Speakers Bureau from the state is working on. So
Okay, that sounds good. So that's where we are. I think we've accomplished a lot in the last 45 minutes. We have
yeah,
things to work on and to continue to improve on where we are. So I'm okay with we don't have, as I said, we don't have to do everything at one time. Long as we can start, long as we can say that we're making progress, and progress is good for me. So as you think of other things, as you think of goals, we can list as many as we can, as we want, and then we can prioritize and decide what we can do in the next year, and what we can, we can make a strategic plan for the committee. And I'm going to also send this out to the other individuals who received the same email that you all received.
okay.
Is
All
there
right.
anything else that we need to talk about?
Now, what time is your next meeting, Gwen?
I don't have another one tonight.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I do.
Okay.
Look, let
I
me
came
look.
on a little late, and you were listing meetings, so I thought they were this
Look,
evening.
you scared me. I had to pull the calendar. I'm like, wait a minute. No, this is the last one this evening.
Okay.
It was actually yesterday that I had 5.
Okay. All right.
So I'm good. I'm good now. Maybe I can actually have dinner.
Okay. All
But
right.
thank you all for being here, and we will move forward with the action items that we discussed tonight. And as you think of other things, again, I say please write them down, jot them down, send them to me, or say you have something you want to talk about at our next meeting, and we can do that. So we will be meeting the next time on May 21st, and it comes quick. That's what I have discovered. It comes real quick. So whatever ideas you have, or if you can attend those state meetings, do that, and hopefully you can attend the panel discussion on Sunday, or Oak Hammock on May 11th. I mean May 14th. So I will see you then. See you around as we continue to work for the league. So thank you
Thank
all.
you.
All right.
Love with all of you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.
I'll send you notes, Gwendolyn.
Okay. All right. Thank you.